The Real Show is brought to you by UCS Facility Management Limited, Omni Basic Bank, and Dewdrop Hand Sanitizer.
Welcome to The Real Show. This is the best Friday night show and you are here to get inspired. My name is Mahalia Bamford and we are live on Metro TV Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm super excited because I have two amazing Muslim women who are going to be sharing their journey with us, because despite the fact that they've met so many challenges, they're doing amazing, and you can do amazing too despite your challenges. Stay with me and get inspired. I'll be back. Welcome back to the best Friday night show. And like I said, we have two amazing women who are going to be sharing their journey with us. Let's have a look at who these women are in the introductory video.
In a world where Muslim women are perceived to be oppressed and not allowed to explore the world, talk less of getting an education, it's curious to find out that there are Muslim women out there making strides in education, the corporate world, and almost all fields of human endeavor in Ghana. We have two amazing Muslim women in the Real Show studio who did not only get the best education can give, but have against all odds made it in their fields. A motivated and result-driven woman with over 10 years of working with institutions with varied interests, Dr. Nasibatu Tahiru Swala diligently contributes towards the overall realization of institutional goals while consciously upgrading herself through regular training and development. A clinical psychologist and an educationist, Nasibatu had her first degree and second degrees in psychology from the University of Ghana and earned a postgraduate diploma and a Doctor of Philosophy at the University of Cape Coast. A member of the Ghana Psychological Association, Nasibatu is also an educational consultant who has served in many capacities in the educational ecosystem, including lecturing at the Islamic University College and the University of Cape Coast. She was a national trainer for the just-ended 2021 Population and Housing Census, gender specialist with about 10 years experience in promoting the rights and well-being of different groups of women and men in society, particularly the poor, marginalized and disadvantaged. Nafisatu Yusuf has paid her dues in a chosen field. She is an expert in areas of monitoring and evaluation, project management, policy advocacy, fundraising and organizational development. She also has other areas of competencies, including training and facilitation, networking and coalition building, research, policy and gender analysis. She has utilized these expertise in international organizations such as Abantu West Africa, Solidaridad West Africa and many more. Nafisatu had her first degree at the University of Ghana and a postgraduate at the Trent University, Petersburg in Canada, and acquired her master's degree at the London School of Economics and Political Science. She also has numerous certificates to her name, including ones from GIMPA and the Empowerment Institute in New York. Let's welcome these phenomenal women to The Real Show.
Welcome, and guessing by the smiles, I'm happy that the introduction did justice, because you know, you've done so much and it's hard to capture, but I think this helps. Exactly. Welcome once again, and you look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for gracing us. Now, tell us how it all started. Maybe we start from you, Nasiba.
Well, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, it hasn't been easy, but by the grace of Allah and through commitments, consistency, and hard work, we have been able to see ourselves where we are. And I believe that it has to do more of you being focused. At the beginning, especially those of us who started university education around 2001, there were very few Muslim women as compared to
now.
Now. And very few Muslim women with hijab identity you can look up to keep going. But with the few ones around, they took up that nurturing.
Can you give us some of
yes,
if somebody's watching as a young Muslim girl, we call
the Sister Hajara and then Lawyer Humu and the rest. They took up that nurturing and older sister, younger sister relationship to more like whip you, to keep you on the line, to keep going. Even after first degree, they were there, you know, to guide you. And then there were other women who, through secondary education and other issues, they served as role models to mentor you, whether directly or self-chosen role model, just to keep you going.
Nafisa, how did it all start for you?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As a Muslim, we normally want to start everything with that. So for me, it really started with a personal zeal to acquire knowledge. Okay. I don't know whether it was because of what the religion itself says we should do, but right from the get-go, whenever I saw those tracks, I grew up in the village, even though I was born in the city. Okay. Whenever I saw the tracks loaded with dexes for school, I imagined myself sitting in one, and I would cry and roll on the ground. In my mind, I was shaming my mom to take me to school. I didn't know she also had her struggles about how she could get me there. I finally found myself in school, but at a later age. I went to school, I think after age 8, but because I believed that there was something in education, I was scribbling things on every surface I found, and I believed some of them were correct. So I ended up in school, and then luckily, because of the community in which we grew, I grew up in the Zongo community at Nima. There weren't a lot of people to look up to, but there was this motivation from my mother. She didn't go to school herself, but she kept pushing, probably because I was doing well as well. So she wanted to show off that her daughter was doing well. And my report card became the standard for measuring other people's performances.
Wow.
And yes, and so when I finally got admission to the university, and rightly, at every stage, there was somebody at every corner to support. So that mentoring, sometimes it wasn't even planned. And also the readiness to learn by myself also was really helpful. So from a very humble beginning, I got to the university and also found other people who were like me and got me inspired to keep on moving. Yeah.
Great. Now, if somebody is watching and the person also finds herself or himself in your situation, you know, the excuses are, oh, I don't have the money, my parents don't have the financial support, and so on and so forth. How would you say you were able to cope through those situations?
I think that the family support for me was there.
Okay.
And fortunately for me, my dad was an educationist. Though he wasn't educated with the secular education, the Islamic education, and then the Arabic side, he had gone all through to the university to acquire a degree. And then he's a community leader. So being an imam with his first daughter being female, you know, traditionally, especially during that time, these days, those stereotypic perception has been managed. Yes. But during our time, hey, are you sure? Then my dad always used to, you know, tell us that if you want to go for it and you are convinced, I will always be there. As for my dad, he wasn't perturbed or he didn't feel limited. Yeah. And he did not allow us to think we are limited by our sex or gender. So, you know, he used to say it in a lighter way that sometimes when you go in Hausa, meaning a certain one may have value more than 10. Yeah. We are just two, you know, being an imam then, and still now he had pressure to, you know, add on to, oh, they are just girls, But he keeps saying that a certain one, just one, may have value more than 10. And I look, that is actually one of the intrinsic inspiration that's kept me going. I don't have an excuse. Here I am with a dad, just put it on the table, let him understand, and he would go in. That's and I amazing. Remember right from secondary school to the university, I even have my colleagues always making fun of me. They thought my dad was actually my husband because he was always there. Every week he will visit. If from secondary school all to the university, every week he would visit. Wow. And the support is there. Yeah. So you don't have any excuse than to excel. And unfortunately, you are naturally good too. So the teachers too are pushing. Oh, Alaji, I was saying piano, or she's doing well. So for us, my dad always say, look, me, I don't know bribe, I don't know shortcuts. Please, if it's first 10, you must be in. If it's first 3, you must be in. Exactly. If it's 1, you must be in.
So basically, the support was from whom?
Yes, you go in knowing that when you push and you work hard, you would make it.
Exactly.
We didn't know any shortcut.
You should tell us about yours.
It's just endurance and discipline.
Yeah, in my case, the support spiritually and then morally was there. Financially, it wasn't there. So, because even from at a young age, I wanted to be in school, I did all sorts of things, supporting my mom. In fact, I sold wache. At the same spot, I sold wache for people, actually. I sold wache, I sold bread, I sold ice water, wow. I sold condensed toffee, I sold charcoal. So, you know, one person managing people's businesses around 10, 11 a.m., they'll get tired and go and rest, and then I'll be the manager for all of these ventures. Alhamdulillah, I have learned a lot from that. Yes. And I believe with that kind of strive, a lot of people also saw the potential in me. Yeah. So I always tell young people that keep pushing. People will come to support when they should. If you don't support yourself, other people wouldn't. At every point in time in my life, educational life, there was somebody by divine design or so came to support me. Right from primary to JHS, I passed, I didn't even know my grades were okay for SHS. And someone just offered to pay the fees, called my mom and paid the fees. From SHS to the university, I didn't even know my results could take me to the university. My friends were saying they were buying forms. I also bought some. I was teaching at a school. And so after SHS, I was teaching to make some money to go back to school. Even at JHS, I was teaching in the night. I was offering studies for adults at the community so that they will gain knowledge but also get some coins to go for classes at school.
That is beautiful.
And after the SHS, when I passed and got the admission, there was someone also, this person wouldn't want her name to be mentioned, but Haja, wherever you are, may Allah bless you and your family. She doesn't want her name to be mentioned. She supported me, paid my admission fee, and also made sure I had enough to support me in buying handouts. And so you see, it has to take the personal effort and then also somebody will see the potential in you to support. So for me, I have been a community child, and so that has also shaped the kind of work I'm doing now. It has shaped what I do and this kind of support I also want to give back to other people in my position or even worse.
Well, if you're watching us, you heard Nasiba and Nafisa say, in all two scenarios, they all made the effort. And all of them had the support once they made the effort. And even if you don't have the direct support, go out there and be forceful. Because she, being in the community and trying to do all this, got other people's attention and she was supported. There's a saying in Akan that, and this is very inspiring. And the sky is the limit. In fact, it's the starting point for people like you, because we look up and then we are motivated to also keep going. Now, let's look at one of the critical issues in society. When people look at your hijab, they see it as a tool of, should I say, suppression. You know, there are some Muslim women who will not even wear the hijab because of that perception, though they know the value of it. Can you help clarify that so that misconception, in case somebody's watching, can be educated?
That perception that hijab is a tool of suppression, for lack of a better word, is a statement out of sheer ignorance.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly.
Hijab, number one, is our identity.
Exactly.
Just by walking in, you would know who we are, that we are Muslims. Just like how when you see a doctor, a medical practitioner in his lab coats with the stethoscope, you know that, oh, yes, this is a practitioner. So if you value yourself as a Muslim and you understand what Islam is, there is nothing that, in fact, it's not even, you don't have to have it at the back of your mind that is suppressing. Hijab is actually meant to, you know, enhance your dignity as a woman.
Exactly.
And then, if you know you are practicing Islam to its fullest, you can't fall short by taking away.
You're standing for what
yes,
you are.
Exactly. That is what makes you a Muslim.
Yes.
Aside the rituals that you practice, and then the virtues and values that people would come into contact through your direct and indirect relationship. But when you see how the money is packaged in the bullion van, you see how covered it is.
Yes,
because it's something of value. Exactly. When we go out to our buffet and cocktails, the food that is of value, what do? They cover it. And the Asante and the Fanti will say you are what? Aketesia, Ukatana, Wesie. So it is an identity for us who are practicing Muslims and understand Islam. In fact, it actually boosts our self-esteem and gives us opportunity to sell Islam even with a snapshot. Yes. Even if
without
we do
having
not
to talk.
Yes, even if we do not say anything and we see just by a snapshot, whichever dimension it is, you know that these are Muslims. So it is our identity. Yes. And it is, in fact, part of our human rights to express and have the veil on.
Exactly.
So if you are a Muslim and you feel that you are oppressed by covering up, then you have to look at it again. Opening up for everybody to see with all the flies and all the clothes everywhere, as compared to you keeping it up. Yes. So if it even adds to the excitement and the passion and the curiosity of you wanting to know what is behind it, as compared to it's open all the time. Yeah. There wouldn't be attraction and excitement wanting to know what is hidden.
Yes. I think you've really covered it. I mean, from my Muslim friends and what you said, I think you've really covered it. But let's ask Nafisa if she's had any experience with people's reaction. Have you had anybody react towards you because you're dressed differently? Because, you know, it's not everybody that's enlightened to know what you know.
Yeah, the reactions I've had have been mixed reactions. Okay. Sometimes you walk into a place and you are the only one with a veil, and everybody is like, hey, I have to shave veil. You know? Sometimes people will even want to feel your pain, so-called, more than yourself, and they will tell you, I've seen another Muslim lady, she just scarfed it and it looked nice on her corporate outfit. If you do the same, it will fit you. I said, no, this is how comfortable I feel in mine. Over time, the same people come to accept the way it is, and they even want to dress. Actually, I have friends who request that I buy some of the veil for them. Maybe because of the way I tie it, because I always tell people that is my hair too. The way you buy your wigs and then you style it. I also want to style it.
Like how I took my time to straighten this. I really understand what you're saying, yes.
So I've had mixed reactions, positives and negatives. But over time, people have come to accept it. But sometimes it has also been a leveler for me to really engage communities.
Exactly, and
especially with the
them.
type of work that I do. Some people see the veil and the message I preach, and then they connect with it. Oh, okay, if you are in your veil and you've still been able to attend school and you are doing this kind of work, then maybe what you are saying is actually good. So it has also helped me in a lot of ways in my community engagement and gender equality work.
Well, if you're watching, identity is very important, and like you heard our guests say, who you are should show in the way you dress and everything that you do, and nobody should tell you how to tell who you are, whether to diminish or to increase it. You are you, and if you're a Muslim girl, do rock your hijab with pride, just like other people are rocking their tradition and their beliefs with pride. Thank you so much for clarifying that. And let's look at education too. The whole misconception of, oh, if you're a Muslim, usually, you know, like you were saying, some people will say this person is just a girl. Even sometimes beyond Islam, we hear that. How would you say things are being handled now, and how can we carry it forward so it becomes better? Especially you being a woman and achieving this level of education.
I think that when it comes to Islam, Muslims and education, we've come a long way. Yes. We've really come a long way. Yes, we can pat ourselves in the back, but we still need to push harder because there is more room for improvement. In fact, contrary to what used to happen in our communities, Islam actually calls for education right from the start.
Wow.
In fact, when the prophet gained his prophethood, his first word of instruction or commandment from Allah was Iqra. That is read. Okay. That's the first revelation from the Quran. It tells you how important education is in Islam. If you can't read, if you are not educated, how will you worship your God? How will you practice the religion? So he didn't say the prophet should pray or command us to pray. It said that Iqra, he should read in the name of his Lord Most High. It tells you how important education. And for Islam, education, both religious and secular, is compulsory for both Muslim women and men. And there are several narrations of the prophets from reliable sources with a lot of scholar agreements with regards to its authenticity, that there has been even instances that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged non-Muslims to educate Muslims. He allowed that, telling you how valuable education is. For us as Muslims, whichever field of education you decide to pursue, your first point of call or your first point of interest is to add value to yourself, to make yourself useful to your religion, and by extension, your community. So as you pursue it, irrespective of the field, from archaeology to zoology, the focus has to be for the benefit of yourself as individual, for the benefit of Islam, and for the benefit of community. And as you do that, you get reward. The Prophet Muhammad said we should seek knowledge from cradle to grave. So irrespective of age, there is no excuse. You keep learning. And he says you should then, China was perceived as the farthest part of the world. He says you should seek knowledge even if you have to go to China. And he says that when he passes away, the ink of a scholar would become more valuable than the blood of a martyr.
Wow.
This is a very deep
I feel like I just
statement.
Went to school.
Yes, so as a Muslim, you don't have an excuse.
Right. Yes.
Whether religious knowledge or secular knowledge. In fact, both of them are intertwined. You can't separate.
Because we are of the flesh and of the spirit.
Exactly. As long as you are living in the society, in the world, you must know much about the world to help you practice your religion well. Then you must know much about your religion to help you.
Educate
exactly. Others. So for us, as Muslims. It doesn't matter which field of knowledge you want to pursue. You pursue it for your interest, for the interest of the religion, and for the benefit of community.
Nafisa, yes. I don't know what is left after all this, but
I think she has elaborated extensively the importance of education in Islam. And for people of faith who say we are Muslims, we have no excuse. And because seeking knowledge hasn't been enshrined on only the man, it's said everyone, once you say you are a Muslim, you must seek knowledge. And seeking knowledge is part of worship. So we have no excuse. And in fact, the Prophet, may Allah be a peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, praised the women of Mecca for their insistence on seeking knowledge, and they didn't allow shame to push them to be in the background. Even the first wife of the Prophet was very educated and a successful businesswoman. So that tells you that even the Prophet wants to associate with people who have knowledge. So who are we, the worshippers of the religion which has been taught to us by the Prophet not to seek knowledge and to allow our kids, boys and girls, to stay and not to seek knowledge?
Thank you so much for clarifying that. There's none to be said again. I think this is very clear. And let's look at some of the practices or maybe ethics or norms of Islam that may hinder growth and development of the girl child, to be specific. Is there anything of the sort?
Well, you see, the challenge people have is that we have mixed culture so much with religion that people are finding it difficult to separate the two. And to a large extent, those of us in Africa and specifically in Ghana, we are not to be blamed. I said to a large extent, because of the way Islam came into the country. It didn't come strictly through missionary team wanting to preach religion. It came through traders. And people saw the beauty of Islam in the traders, plus their culture, and adopted what they saw. It was later that knowledge came in and missionaries got opportunity to come in before, people began to understand that, this is somebody's culture. This is the actual religion without a mix of culture. So most of the things people have taken and are holding on to are more of culture. Islam has nothing, not even a drop, that limits a woman or degrades a woman or makes her draw back. It is rather people's culture, and then because of the patriarchal nature of our society mixed with people sexist and chauvinistic interpretation of the Quran. Now, by the grace of God, we have a lot of women who have studied Islamic jurisprudence to its detail. People can read, and now a lot of scholars have interpreted the Arabic text into English and various language. People are understanding the real meaning rather than the biased meaning because of some chauvinistic people who want to oppress women.
Because of lack of education.
Yes, who want to oppress women. So now there's a limit to which you can lie to people.
Yes.
If you pick
they can read for themselves.
Yes, if you pick a topic to preach during sermon, somebody can sit back and read what scholars are saying about the same topic. And he will get to know. And after some time, people will know your stand and where your biasness is tilted. Exactly. So some of these things is just a tool of wanting to control using religion. Yes. But it has nothing to do with the religion. Yes. People do all kinds of things in the name of religion.
Yes. Now there's a lot of stories coming up on even BBC about the fact that women are standing up in their communities and fighting for the younger ones to get education. And before this, we all thought they accepted and felt like that's how it's supposed to be. But now that we hear some of them speak up, you realize that they know the truth.
There's something about suppression. you get suppressed to the extent that you even accept your
Yes,
situation.
yes.
So we had situations like that, but now we have something like information explosion.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, people have knowledge now. Whether you like to seek it or not, knowledge is everywhere. It's on your TV, it's on your phone, it's on the net and all of that. So people are now able to decipher the truth from the falsehood and the biased information or the misogynistic interpretations of religious texts from what is intended. And I always say that we interpret text, religious text, to suit our own whims and caprices.
Yes.
If I explain John 3:16 to you, I will explain it probably to suit the way I understand and how I want to twist it.
Well
so
said.
our biases also inform the way we see religion to be. It's a tool that we can use for the betterment of society. It's also a tool that can be used to divide and to destroy. So it depends on who has it.
Well, let's use this tool of knowledge despite your religion for the positivity and good of the community and ourselves, rather than, you know, letting people misinform and mislead us. Now let's look at consultancy, which is, I could say both of you are consultants, if I'm right, right?
Yeah. By the grace of God.
By the grace of God, yes. And should I say, how am I supposed to say it in Islam? Inshallah, right?
Yes, yes.
Great. So, you know, all the time we are generalizing the roles of consultants. But today, educate us on your consultancy role so that everybody watching can understand.
So, baby, consultants, I believe, are basically people who provide expertise, knowledge, recommendations, and to fill the gaps that organizations and individuals wouldn't have the time. Not that they don't always have the expertise. Sometimes they do have the expertise, but the time to do the dirty job may not be there. So they get other people to do it, to offer those services at a fee, you know. So they are not different from organizations, but in this case, they have offered themselves to render services that you may not have the time or may not have the expertise to do in-house.
Yes, but specifically to your area.
Yeah, so to my area, basically offer expertise in gender and development for organizations and individuals which see them to be very useful for their work, and also to support the development of a lot of community work as well. So that's how it's been. And mostly it's based on work that you've done, whether or not it's deemed to be of high quality. That's how you remain in business. And so for a consultant, your work should really cut it out.
So for like from experience, if I get you right, well, you've done a lot of work, or you've worked with Solidaridad, which is in Sierra Leone, Ghana, Liberia, and all of that. So let's compare some of these African countries, okay? Would you say that when we talk of gender equality, Ghanaians are forward, or there is still a lot for us to do, and some advice for us to do better?
I wouldn't say that Ghana has done better than any of them. You know, we are all Africans.
Yes.
And our when you travel out of Ghana to the next African country, there may just be a little difference in even the way we live as a community. So it tells us something, that our perceptions may be different, but common as well. So we have come a long way globally with gender equality, but the pace has been slow. For Ghana, it's been like a roller coaster. We go up and then we come down. When you even look at the participation of women in parliament, it tilts, and then, you know, sometimes it gets discouraging. And as social development workers, sometimes it can be really discouraging. You may even end up crying because after all the work, you realize that nothing has been achieved. And because it has to do with behavior change, it takes a long time to get results. We are comfortable with the things that we have been doing for a long time. Even we as gender experts or practitioners, we have our personal biases that we have to deal with, much more the communities or people you want to change. They also have their biases, and they are now buying into what you are selling. So it takes time. So we haven't really gotten there, but we have made some progress that are worth celebrating, you know. So yeah,
I think sometimes it also starts with our individual perspectives. You know, we have, if you go to the market generally and ask maybe a random person, that would you want a man or a woman to be, let's say, the leader of this market group? They would all be looking to the man.
Yes, because...
So that's why we don't have them in parliament.
Yes, because we are all in a system that has made us to believe that leaders are supposed to be men.
Exactly.
We have indirectly accepted that fact. So
how do we work to correct this misconception?
It has to take, first of all, the realization that there has been wrong done.
Yes.
And the zeal to correct that wrong.
Yes.
Wrong in the sense that we are in a community of women and men.
Yes.
And women have demonstrated leadership at various levels.
Yeah.
They take care of kids at home by the way our societies have been structured. So they're actually leading men when they are kids. So why is it that when the men grow, they suddenly realize
when
that...
your foundation was even
the foundation
overlooked by a woman.
You've been led all this while. So it has to take the realization that, look, we are not doing something right. And look at where we are as a people. Let's try women's leadership as well and see. Yeah.
Great. I think the world is taking a positive turn towards this discussion or viewpoints that we have. And hopefully very soon we would understand that human beings have equal opportunities and we all can make it, whether female or male. Yeah. Now let's talk about consultancy in your field, what you offer.
Yes, as she said, it has to do with offering expert advice. Yeah. And sometimes maybe in the area of planning, monitoring, evaluation, because you are an outsider as a consultant, you come in most of the time to address problems, to look at gaps, to look at how things need to be done in a different way for them to achieve effectiveness and efficiency. And then now we are talking about sustainability. If you are doing things right, how do you sustain it? Yeah. That's also a challenge. So that's where we come in as development consultants and as educational consultants. So I do work with schools to help them in their planning, to help the management to plan well, sometimes to help in rebranding, then to help with people who are now starting. And those who have been there for a long time, how to keep the pace, how to sustain the success. And those who are coming up, how to manage things exactly. Exactly. Then, because of my background too as a clinical psychologist, I go in with additional tools for psychological services to help them with behavioral change, to help them deal with their psychological issues, and overall to help the team have good psychological well-being to be able to function
very essential
effectively in whichever capacity they find themselves in.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the education and the reality you show us in your speech. You open things up as it should be on The Real Show. As you heard, this is The Real Show, and this is the only show that gives you the real information on the ground from journalists just to inspire you. Now let's look at social life. You know, we've spoken about the Islam, the growing up, the education, what you do, you know, gender issues and all of that. But you as a person, or as an individual, how do you even manage all that you do with social expectation, you know, family, children, marriage? What's the secret? Is there something you do that helps you cope so that others can also pick that?
You see, women naturally can multitask. Women...
Because of time, let's make it very...
Okay, women have some natural tendencies that helps them manage situations. So because of the multitask, we apply it at workplace and at home. And as a career person, you cannot do your things the way other people do. So management comes in, discipline comes in, focus comes in, time consciousness comes in, delegation comes in, and then finding what we call Aprotech, finding interesting ways of managing things, doing things other ways, exactly. Finding ways of doing things to get it done, not the traditional way. And it hasn't been easy. It's not easy. I always tell the younger ones growing is that when you have your focus, your agenda, it will take time. You should have long-term, short-term, medium-term goals.
So planning takes an effective role.
But then, keep going. If it becomes so difficult, don't quit. Take a break. You take a break.
On that note,
you revive yourself and come back again.
Exactly. So, like you said, take all those points into consideration. And if you do need a break, then you should go on a break. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Real Show, the best Friday night show, like I always say. And we are live on Metro TV Ghana. We've been having a great discussion with two beautiful Muslim women who have gone against all odds and are achieving and setting the pace for others to also do better. And tonight, even though we've ended the discussion, they're going to be giving us some inspirational words, and we are giving you the opportunity as viewers to join in and ask your questions, give your contributions, or whatever it is you have to say to us on The Real Show. So do call us 055 00 89807. I'll take the number again, 055 00 89807. The number will be displayed on the screen as well. And so just pick your phone, call us, and share. Nafisa, you had something to share with us.
Yes, I just wanted to share that, yes, as women juggling work and career and home management, yes, it's all right to manage, it's all right to plan, but also seek help when you should, because we can't be superwomen all the time.
Yes.
You need to take care of yourself. You need to be alive, actually, to give life to the other people you are managing. And you can seek help by franchising those roles that you can't do at home. It could be childcare, it could be home management and all of that.
Sorry, let me hold that thought. All right, hello, can you hear me?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir. Your name, please, and where you're calling from. I hope I didn't lose my caller. All right, so you were saying?
Yes. So you can seek help.
Hold on, I think he's on the line. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? All right, sorry about that.
Yeah. If we don't have the resources, we could also rely on our social capital. Yeah. And that is where the community life is useful or the people around us will be useful. But it doesn't mean we should take their labor for granted. It has to be paid as well, because we are talking empowering people. So nobody should render any service for free. Of course, there are people who will definitely do them for free, especially if it has to be your mom and all of that, but you still have to pay them anyway. And also take care of yourself.
Great. I have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Please, can you lower the volume of your TV set? Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Justin.
I can hear you. Please don't listen to me from your TV set. Lower the volume on your TV set and please talk to me through the phone.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening, darling.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Okay.
Your name, please.
So please, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, darling, I can hear you.
Hello.
Oh, the network is bad. Please do call. The number is on the screen and we'll be here to take your contributions to our discussion. So tonight we've concluded, or let me put together what we've had based on the question that says, how do you handle your family, social life, and your career? And they are saying that, or we've learned on the show tonight from our beautiful guest, that you should plan, you should learn to balance, but then you should also understand that despite your hard work, prayers, and the balancing, it's okay to take a break and take support from the community and family. Hello? Hello, can you hear me, please? Hi. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, dear. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Please, your name.
Please, my name is Mira.
Hi, Mira. Let us know what you have for us, Mira.
Okay. Please, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I really like your show.
Thank you very much for watching the Real Show and liking it. Please share so that others also join in as well. All right, thank you. So that was from Mira. Mira, thank you so much for watching the show and thanks for the compliment as well. Hello, I have another caller on the line. Hello? Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear.
Good evening, dear.
Good evening.
Your name, please, and what you have for us.
Yeah, I'm very. I'm Yusuf, speaking from Tamale.
Thanks,
this
Yusuf.
This is my first time listening to the program, and I'm very impressed seeing them speaking for Islam. I'm very, very impressed. May Allah Almighty put barakah in them.
Amen.
I wish to encourage my brothers from the Islamic religion that they should help their women to achieve more. It is very important. If a woman, sometimes we always think that when a woman is successful, he or she would look down upon you. That is not true. So if your woman has achieved, it's your children that will benefit. So I wish to encourage my brothers that they should try and then help their women to succeed. Yes, let me allow that so that others can also share their view.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yusuf. This is a beautiful message. Yusuf is saying that to his fellow Muslim brothers, it's okay. In fact, it's actually good to look out for other Muslim women and encourage them, because when they achieve, it affects your children. Let's encourage so we have more Muslim women doing amazing. Hello? Hello, can you hear me, please? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name, please, and your message for us.
I'm Fauzia. I'm calling from Doenya, please.
Thanks, Fauzia, for calling in on The Real Show.
Yeah. I'm very happy to see my sisters on your program.
Thank you.
Yeah, they are really an inspiration for all of the young Muslim women coming up. Yeah.
You can respond.
I'm very impressed with their you know, Nafisa. Nafisa is my friend. We went to school together. I'm very inspired by her story, and I've witnessed what she has been through. And you know, she is an inspiration. Yeah. So
thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh, this is beautiful. So we just had a caller called Fauzia who knows Nafisa, and she's inspired. I hope you are inspired to watching. How does this make you feel knowing that other people are watching and getting inspired by you?
It motivates us to keep going, because you have to keep lifting the bar higher to get others to also move upwards.
How do you feel, especially being your schoolmate?
Yeah, she's actually my friend, Fauzia. I've seen the struggles she's gone through. We've gone through a lot. And some of these stories actually keep you awake in the night. Yeah. You would have no excuse to fail. I have a daughter who looks up at me and says, I want to be like you. I tell her, you can be more than mommy.
Exactly.
But you have to be somewhere for her to continuously see you as someone who can inspire her. And I believe there are other people silently watching and getting inspired by you. So you have no excuse.
You have no excuse. Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, may we have your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from St. Peter's. Hello?
Hello?
I'm calling from St. Peter's.
Okay, Spintex. Your name, please.
Saudatu.
Sorry?
Saudatu.
Saudatu.
Yes.
Okay, Saudatu. Thanks for calling in on The Real Show. Can we have your message, please?
Thank you, too. Please, I'd like to speak outside.
You're allowed, please. Feel free.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Allah ya taimake mu duka. Mun gode sosai.
Mun gode.
She's thanking us, and she wishes and prays that the younger one, their children, also gets inspired by us to work harder.
This is beautiful. You should have seen me just nodding excited without even knowing what that was. And I'm happy that people are watching and actually getting inspired. Do you have a motivating message you want to leave? But let's pick this caller first. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I am Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah, I'm calling from Accra.
Okay. Your message, please.
Yeah. I just want to actually appreciate the beautiful Muslim ladies I can see on your program. I actually admire Muslim ladies.
Oh.
They're fantastic ladies. They are very intelligent.
Oh, thank you so much.
From the conversation you are having. But my question is simple. I just wanted to know from the Muslim ladies whether a Christian can marry a Muslim.
Wow. That's a very controversial question. Okay, let's try and answer him as briefly as possible. Your opinion, please. The ball is in your court.
So, well, if we want to go strictly Islam, it depends on who is a Christian here. Is it a lady? Is it a guy? Mm-hmm. If it's a lady, yes, she can marry a Muslim because of how our societies are structured. Mm-hmm. The belief is that the woman is going to join the man to make a family. And when you make a family, there will be kids involved if you are blessed by the Creator. So for the cohesion of the family and to ensure that the kids do not get confused along the line, Islam encourages that a Muslim guy can marry a non-Muslim woman. But if it's the other way around, that is where the problem is, because the lady is going to join the man.
Exactly.
So practically, it's going to mean that she's going to give of her faith, which is not encouraged. Yeah. And so
it's just best to have two people that are
you
in
know,
the same direction.
You just
and
need to know these nuances and then decide as to whether you are ready for what will come next.
In fact, thank you so much, Nasiba and Nafisa. Nasiba too and Nafisa too. I always forget to say the full one because I'm too happy and comfortable with you all. But we appreciate your presence here on The Real Show, and I'm very grateful for the insightful discussion that you have given us on the show. Bless you, and thank you, Yusuf, who was our last caller, and to all other callers who tuned in, and to my viewers for watching the whole show. I hope if you missed any parts, you can catch up tomorrow same time, or check our Facebook Live. My name is Mahalia. Do enjoy your weekend.